Time to get this 8 o'clock hour up and going. We are glad to have you along with us on this beautiful day in the neighborhood as we celebrate November the 2nd. National Deviled Egg Day here in the United States of these Americas. And we're having a good time this morning. We've got sports coming up in a bit. But before then, before we get to that, we're going to head over to Bryan Insurance Agency. And we're going to be talking to Sonia and find out exactly what's going on in the world of insurance.
Good morning, Rick.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Everything going well? I haven't seen you since about, last Thursday, I
know.
think.
I was going to say, are you that person that came into the house and slept in our bedroom whenever I was asleep last night, but left before I got up?
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks. So,
yeah, I'm glad it was you, at least.
Yes, it was me. The dog will vouch for it.
I know.
All right, we've got one of many insurance questions today.
Yes, I've been asking on social media if anybody has any questions to let me know about insurance. And I had somebody ask me last week, what's the difference between an agency like Bryan Insurance and one of the insurance agencies that just have one company? And so I thought I would address that this morning.
So you're talking like, let's say, a Bryan Insurance agency who has multiple companies to talk to compared to, let's say, a name brand one-time place.
Yes, and those agencies are known in the industries as direct writers. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. So when I refer to a direct writer, I'm talking about the people that just have the one company. And I want to start off by saying that my words here, in no way slams anybody that works for a direct writer. In fact, I have many friends and colleagues who are wonderful insurance agencies that represent one company, and we refer business back and forth, and we have a friendly relationship. So, I obviously believe strongly in the independent agency system since I've worked for one for 31 years, and I believe in it, but I'm not saying, that anybody that works for a direct writer isn't a good insurance agent by any stretch. This came up a couple years ago. It was kind of funny. Our oldest son and his wife a couple years ago were buying a house, and they went and talked to a direct writer about insurance because he went to church with them, and he was there in the area where they were buying the house. And our son said, I don't know, the whole time the guy seemed to know what he was talking about, but I felt like I was doing something wrong. And I asked him why, and he said, because his whole life I had led him to think that those insurance agents are bad, which made me laugh. Of course, this is the same son, whenever he was 5, told some people that I made insurance commercials. So I think he's not the first time I have misled him, but it just made me think, that even though there's a distinct difference, one's not necessarily better than the other.
I mean, they're just different.
They're different, exactly.
It depends on what you want to do. Let's say if you, this is my amateur way of looking at this. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's a difference between going to buy a steak or going to a buffet.
In a way, that's right. The difference between a direct writer and an independent agent is pretty basic. A direct writer, they're either employed by or they represent one insurance company. An independent agent has contracts with multiple insurance companies. So, therefore, an independent agent can get quotes from more than one insurance company for the same customer. And then, another thing with an independent insurance agent is sometimes because they have all those different markets, they may be able to do some more unusual risks. I don't remember very many times, if any, in my 31-year career that I've heard us say we can't write that. There's usually a way to do it since we do have the multiple companies. So your example of a buffet, the buffet may have steak on it. It may have chicken fried steak. It may have chicken. But yeah, that's a really good example.
Yeah, that way you got choices. If you were looking for this company or that company, and the wild thing about it is, over the years of listening to you talk about these things, some of these insurance companies I didn't know even existed, but they've been around for years and years and years.
Yeah, that's true. Anytime you turn on television, whether it's a sports show or whatever, you're going to see insurance commercials. It's just become a huge thing. And based on those advertisements, many of the direct writers have huge marketing budgets. And though, independent agents aren't as a group represented by any of those mascots, but we do make up a huge part of the insurance industry. One of our associations that we work really closely with is the Independent Insurance Agents of Texas, which is IIAT, and they say that independent agents have access to more than half of the top insurance companies in Texas, and that independent agencies write approximately 1 million Texas homeowners and approximately 2.8 million auto insurance policies per year. And on top of that, independent insurance agents write 80% of the approximately $12 billion in commercial insurance purchases in Texas each year. So that's a large portion of the insurance written in Texas is written by independent agents, but like you said, some of the companies, especially on the commercial side, may not be as well known depending on if they are specialty carriers or what have you. But yeah, the independent agents definitely make up a lot of the insurance in Texas.
All right, folks need to get a hold of you guys and just say, hey, look, I've got this car, I've got this business, I've got this house or whatever, and I'm looking for the best deal I can possibly get on these items. How do they get a hold of you?
Well, and I do want to add real quick that the only way you can find out which is better is to get comparison quotes. So check with whoever you feel like you want to check with and get comparison quotes and to see if you have the best deal or not and the best coverage or not. And the way you would get a hold of us, you can either call us at 940-549-2525. You can come see us on the second floor of the Sierra Bank Building here in Graham, Texas, or you can go on the internet to our website, www.bryanins.com.
Go check it out today. You'll be glad you did, and I promise they're gonna do you right every single time. All right, Sonia, appreciate you calling in and giving us the information, and might be able to see you tonight sometime.
Maybe even lunch.
Hey, that'll work.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Talk to you later.
All righty, bye.